Hey everybody, it's Jenny McGarvey and I'm back with you for another week in my memory planner. I'm using the Gold Dot Happy Planner. This is an original one from 2015-2016. Right here you can see last week, and I'm going to move on to next week, which is October 10th through 16th. I loved last week, the week of October 3rd. I got back into my groove. I was doing what was natural and what felt good to me, and I'm thrilled with the results. So I'm really hoping that I can keep that up for the following week. Now, as you can see here, I am going through some pocket page cards. These are all from Scraptastic Club. They're from the October This Life Noted add-on, which was like a Halloween fall type add-on. And I'm going through the cards and choosing them. Now, ordinarily, I don't do this at the beginning of my videos. This is something I do at the end, but I wasn't sure what color scheme I should go with for this week or the direction that I should go for the week. So I wanted to go ahead and choose the pocket page cards based on the photos that I had already printed. And then that way I would be able to choose the colors and the overall theme for this particular week. So first I selected some cards that would potentially work. Then now I'm going through the cards that I chose that would potentially work and narrow them down to the ones that I need for my particular photos and the different types of events and stuff like that that I have planned. So I've chosen a handful. I'm going to actually end up using 4, and then I will be able to plan the different sort of stickers and that type of thing that I use for the actual planning. I'm going to also now trim down the photos as well, because I have a sort of new strategy that I'm employing in I'm getting ready for 2017, where I won't be using page protectors each week. And so I want to start a trend of where I'm a little bit more mindful of where I'm going to put my photos, and therefore taking a step backwards where I'll put my actual planning as well. So that means for this week that I need to trim up my photos, look at what's going to go in the page protectors, and then what's going to go on the page. Then from there, with the ones that I have that are going to go on the page, I can plan where I will put the actual activities and events and where I will put the photo. Because remember, I love planning and it's beautiful and fun and incredibly functional. But one of the things too is that I want it to be beautiful as well. So I want to incorporate good design skills or design ideas as well as functions. So it's a little bit of a process, and one that I'm really enjoying and very excited about, but I need to be a little bit more mindful about as well. So as you can see, I've taken the page out of the planner. I love to do this because it not only allows me to be able to write without the discs being in the way, but it also creates a nice flat surface so I don't have any bumpiness or anything getting underneath my pen or stamps that I'm using. Now I'm going to use the Scraptastic Club September Plan On It kit. This was one of my very favorites. I absolutely love the colors, and it goes with the colors in the cards that I chose for the page protector. So I'm kind of really excited about this because hopefully it will lead me into creating a layout that I'm really excited about. So for Monday, I'm layering together right here 3 different stickers, but I'm going to add a 4th to notate a doctor's appointment. Now, because this is my memory planner, I can go a little bit crazier with my stickers because I wouldn't ordinarily want to layer together 4 stickers for one event. That seems a little extravagant, but not only extravagant, it just seems a little needless because my planning really is all about function. I do want it to look good, but function is the bottom line. But because it's my memory planner, I can add a little bit extra because I want it to be decorative as well. So as you can see for Tuesday, I've layered together 2 different stickers, but then also used that tiny little soccer ball to notate my son's soccer practice. Now, part of the idea for the memory planner is to make sure to leave room for decorations and for journaling and for photos. So as you can see here, I sort of have started in the last few weeks making sure to block where I'm doing my planning. So for example, maybe I'll leave the bottom open in a couple of different days. So maybe Monday and Tuesday, the bottom section, so that I have room for a photo or I have room for decoration. And maybe that's not true. Maybe I'll do it somewhere else. But I like to be mindful of where some of the decor and the photos will go when I'm finished with the actual functional planning. I also like to make sure to incorporate a little bit of white space because I feel like for me, I need it because I like an uncluttered layout, and I also like a place to let my eye rest as well. So that's where the white space definitely comes in for me. I'm not a person who wants to see every square inch of the page covered. Now I'm using a couple of different stickers here on the Tuesday evening section, I used one of those little 3-part checklists just to notate one particular event. And then on the Wednesday morning, I used that school bus to notate late start, and I just wrote late start right on the school bus. And it's kind of a funny way to think about it because I consider myself a school bus because I take several kids to school on Wednesday morning as my part of carpool. And so that's why I always designate the late start on Wednesday mornings, in case you were wondering. Now here's one of my very favorite things to do. It's to take these little arrow stickers and point them to a particular icon. Then I write the activity on the arrow. It's just really cute to me for some reason. I really like the way that that turns out, and it's also incredibly functional in addition to being very cute. Now I also need to add another event, so I'm going to continue to flip through, and then I'm going to use that sticker and the little icon sticker that goes on the circle to notate a meeting that we had on the Wednesday evening. I think it's important to remember that stickers might be designed one way, but there might also be more than just that one way to use them, and it might be a different way that works best for you. Now I've moved on to the second half of the week, and just like I did for the first half, I removed the page and I'm going to continue planning. Now I like to cover up the headers that say morning, afternoon, evening, and not because I don't kind of follow those guidelines. I do actually sort of kind of follow those guidelines, but I just think it's fun to remove them a little bit. It keeps the page varied. So you see it a couple of times written the morning, afternoon, and evening, and some of the places it's covered up. So I just really like the way that that sort of it's all kind of changed up and a little bit different as well. Now you can see here how I've layered together 3 different stickers, a couple of functional ones and then one decorative. But to be perfectly honest with you, I don't really consider the notebook paper and the flag to be totally functional. I also consider them to be decorative. I think they look really good, and I would be having no problems whatsoever in using them on their own. Now down below I'm also layering a couple of functional stickers together to notate a particular event. And then I'm just going to add a simple star also because it's a practice, and so the stars always sort of notate a sporting event to me. And I just really like the way that all of that pulls all of the colors together from this particular page. Same as the one above it as well. I'm really incorporating all of the colors. I'm going to add a little bit of stamping with this stamp set from Scraptastic Club, and I'm also going to use one of the inks that I keep in my planner set, which is a Versacolor rainbow or royal blue color. I don't know that I've actually ever used this one before because I normally just use my VersaFine, the blue that I have there, but this time I really wanted to try this royal blue, and it turned out perfect. It's nice and moist, and the color is just really, really good. So it's a really fun way to experiment with some different things stamping is, and I love the different effect that it gives from the stickers, and I really do enjoy stamping. I think it's really fun, and it's a good way to feel super creative as well. Not to mention that stamping is a really good use for planning because you can use the same stamp over and over and over again, and it won't run out, and you can use it as many times as you want. So stamping can be really functional and cost effective as well if that's something that you're considering while planning. Now this time I'm just going to use a simple icon sticker to notate an event, which is unusual. I feel like I've been using one or more often than just the single, but I like the way that it looks, and I like the change that it is from the other ones as well. Now I'm continuing on in my Friday evening, and I'll do a traditional sticker placement for me, which is the quarter box, and then also layering right on top of it a football icon sticker, and that's a normal way for me to plan, but I wanted to leave enough room for the photo I had, which would go on the Friday evening, which is at the football game, which corresponds to that quarter box right above it as well. Now I've left Sunday evening open so that I can add the tiniest bit of journaling as well. I don't really need so much journaling as I do just a brief snippet or a caption of what is happening in this photo. Because I've been scrapbooking so long and my kids are kind of older, I do recognize that I won't remember all of the things, and so that's why this memory planning thing is really coming together for me and really becoming such a blessing, because I realize that I'm going to be able to remember a whole bunch of these little details that without this memory planner I wouldn't really necessarily be notating or marking down. So these are just bringing me such joy to make note of all of the everyday occurrences in our lives, and I know that this is going to be such a treasure in the future. Now for Saturday morning, I'm doing a little bit of layering and a little bit of simple use of stickers, like that blue half box with just the tiny little soccer ball icon on top of it. Obviously the blue box is just super cute and it doesn't need anything else, but I like to add the little soccer ball. It just gives it that little added bit of flair. And since then I don't have to always write the name of the sport if I have the little ball next to it, it's the perfect way to notate it without having to write it down. Now I'm looking through my stickers trying to find the perfect one to layer on top of that little speech bubble that I had already placed there. The speech bubble is just so stinking cute, and I knew that I wanted to use it, but sometimes it can be a little bit difficult to figure out what to pair it with. So I paired it with one of those quarter boxes that's yellow, and then I'm also going to layer on top of it another sticker. I wanted to draw in not only something else just for design, but I also wanted to bring in a different color too. Now I'm going to do that same technique on Sunday morning, which was to use the little arrow sticker pointing to the icon and just add the simple little event there. And again, it doesn't need to be notated that it's a baseball game because I used the baseball icon, and so it's pretty self-explanatory, and it turns out just looking really great. Now, as you can see, I've left a little bit of room on the right side. Obviously, I'm going to add a little bit of journaling, and I'm pulling out my self-healing mat so that I can write the lines. If you've watched any of my videos before, you know that I like to make the lines a little bit staggered because it's very difficult to make them line up on top of each other exactly. And I also feel like this, for me, in my opinion, looks a little bit better. I'm always a little bit happier with the results and that they look a little bit more playful as well. So now as you can see, I'm finished with my actual planning and I'm finished adding my photos as well. So now I can go back and add a little bit of decoration. I do still, like I said at the beginning of this video, like to keep it simple. I want to make sure that I have plenty of white space and plenty of room for my eye to move around and that kind of thing. So I'm just going to add a little bit of simple washi tape, a couple of different colors that match well with the colors that I had chosen for my planning. And the theme is overall just kind of sunshiny and happy and fun, and then the two washies coordinate together as well. Now I'm going to go through the die cuts that came with the This Life Noted kit, and there are a whole bunch of different fall-inspired pieces, a bunch of words and labels, and then also some leaves. And so I'm going to go through and pick the ones that will coordinate with the overall feel of the week, and then also the colors. I don't need to overdo it, a few will do, just adding a little bit of decoration and playfulness. And then, for example, so now I have these three leaves that I can cluster together in the lower left-hand corner, and I have a couple of little word-fetty words, and then also just that label that I've placed down by the photo. It's just an overall good way to decorate, but it still keeps my page nice and flat, so I don't add any bulk to my overall planner since I'm just keeping the entire year of 2017 in one planner. So now what I need to do is go through and see if I can find any stickers to finish up my decorating. I know I have a couple of open spots, which I'm okay with leaving white if that's what it comes to, but if I have any stickers that will go and will make an overall better than leaving it white, then I'd like to find those. Now down here for next to my photo and that other event, that cute little camera just is perfect right there. The colors are great, and then so is it with the photo. And then in the Monday afternoon, layering those two decorative stickers, one full box and one half box, also just really is perfect and a great way to start the week. So now I'm going to take my tape runner and adhere down all of those little die cuts to the places that I had set them out in the planner. And this is just a really, really easy tool you can pick up at your local craft store like a Michael's or a Hobby Lobby. These little tape runners, they're really inexpensive. You could even use a coupon on them. And they're so easy to use. And they just are usually, if you get a permanent one, they'll really hold down your things and you won't have a problem with losing them in the future. They're just very easy to use and I highly recommend them. Now that I finished with the planner pages, I'm going to go ahead and pull out the pocket protector, which I keep actually in the back of my memory planner. And I'm going to go ahead and start to work with my page protectors. Now I'm keeping these really, really simple. Definitely they resemble Project Life in that I'm using a divided page protector, but I'm not adding any bulk. I'm not adding even actually much decoration whatsoever because I really do want to keep it simple. I feel like the planner pages are pretty heavy on, decoration, or, they just have a lot of things going on. So I feel like keeping the pocket pages pretty simple is a good way for me to go. Now, as you can see, I like to print different size photos also. I like to vary it up and make it more interesting and change things up. So it's a fun way to also be able to add all kinds of different things to this page. Now I'm still going to use a few stickers here. Like as you can see, I used that banner sticker, and I'm just going to label it to say Mambi. This was a day that I went and I had lunch with some of my Mambi friends, and it was just so fun and such a good little photo to not only tell the story, but then leave a little bit of room on that card to add the tiniest bit of journaling as well. Now I know for this other smaller photo that I want to be able to write the word Snapchat on it, since the photo is a photo of my son with a Snapchat filter. And so it's one of those things that maybe, 20 years from now I won't remember what that is. So why I feel like it's kind of important to notate that that's a Snapchat filter, so that hopefully it'll jog my memory down the road. So all I'm going to do is just add a couple of simple photos and the word Snapchat. That's it. I'm not going to go overboard or anything like that. Though it would probably be helpful to tell the story that my son loves Snapchat, and we really do have a good time with those filters. But maybe another day. So as you can see, it's just all pulled together, and it was very, very simple. I didn't do anything crazy or out of the ordinary, but mostly that's just because I want to keep the page flat and I want to keep it fairly simple as well. Now along the top of here, I just wanted to add a little something. It felt a little tiny bit plain, but I didn't want to go crazy or anything like that. So a simple label and a couple of words will do the trick just fine. Now I'm going to finish up the back side by placing all of these things in the page protectors, and that's it. I'm finished with this particular week. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed my video, please leave me a thumbs up. And if you have any questions, please leave it in the box below and I'll do my best to get back to you. Thank you so much, and make it a great day.